our first guest of the day, they had their own piece of news, massive news, which came out yesterday morning. We had been wondering for quite some time, all right, what is going to happen with TNA Wrestling? Because over the summer, we had Carlos Silva, who is the president of Anthem Sports, and as a result, oversees the growth, development, and distribution of TNA Wrestling, Invicta FC, and the Fight Network. We had been hearing about them looking for a TV deal here in the United States, a new home, an opportunity to grow. We've been talking about their trajectory and how, they've had this resurgence, and how the deal with NXT and WWE has really helped, bring them back to life, all this stuff and more. And we were wondering when that other shoe would drop, when we would hear news about their new TV deal heading into 2026. Well, yesterday we found out it is, in fact, going to be on AMC. That's the big news, AMC being the home of TNA Wrestling. I love this stuff. Been talking about Top Rank for a while and where PFL is going to go. And obviously earlier in the year, UFC and ESPN, WWE going to ESPN, UFC going to Paramount. So all these things are very interesting to me. And now we know it's going to be Thursday Night Impact beginning mid-January on AMC, TNA's new home. What a history for this company, from the early weekly pay-per-view days to the Spike days to the Discover America days to the Access TV days to now AMC. Let's talk to the man who made the deal happen. The one and only Carlos Silva is here. Hello, Carlos. How are you?
I'm doing great. Nice to see you, Ariel.
Great to see you, and thanks so much for doing this, and congratulations to you and the whole team. Can I ask, given the climate that we're in, the media climate, it's so interesting, it's evolving, there's streaming now, it's not just linear television, how difficult was this deal to get done? How hard was it to get it over the line in the year 2025, a deal like this?
It was hard. It was hard. We started this process, because we spoke over the summer, and we've been speaking. It's been a long year. We started it in April. We've had, many, many calls. And as you said, especially now, the media landscape around all of the moving parts, whether it's properties moving from platform to platform, platforms changing, platforms being in live, platforms not being in live, just a lot of moving parts. And so you got to find the right moment. You got to get a little lucky, and you got to find the right partner. And in the end, we did, and we found a partner that's really excited about putting their big toe into live and live sports and entertainment, and using TNA as that beginning for them on Thursday nights with TNA Impact with AMC. So it's super exciting news. None of these deals are easy, as you know, Ariel, but it's always great to get them done.
Yeah, and so you mentioned this platform, this property that everyone knows about, that had a great run with the likes of Mad Men and Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, etc. And they haven't been synonymous with live sports. And so could you tell us how this came about? Did you guys pitch them? Did they come to you and say, we're interested, we've heard? Could you give us some of the details as far as how this relationship came about?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if I had mentioned it, but CAA was our partner and helped us in setting up all these meetings. We had many, many calls with so many different outlets. Some that we've all known for so many years and done many deals with, going back in my case, even back to the Universal Sports or World Series of Fighting or PFL days. But we had a great first call with AMC. They were literally the best first call we had. There was something about them being very intrigued about wanting to have a weekly show, wanting to start to get into the live sports and entertainment business. And they liked TNA, and I think they felt like they also could help to lift up TNA. We knew that being on a foundational network like AMC, that's basically on the first page of everyone's program guide, would give us the audience lift that we've needed, and it worked from there. We had a couple of months. We were working through it. We got through the summer, and then it really got serious as we got to the end of the summer, and we worked through the deal and got it done a couple of weeks ago. That the teams are already working really well together as we start to plan for January 15th and the live debut.
Was there a point where you were worried that maybe this wouldn't get over the line and you guys would have to stream your own shows or keep it on Access, something like that, where it just was too hard to get this done?
Oh, sure. I mean, I finally slept well last night. I've had a lot of sleepless nights. I mean, again, Ariel, you mentioned it when you asked the question at the beginning. Everything is changing in this landscape every single day. So any day that the deal wasn't done was a day that something else could happen. Someone could buy someone, someone could change something, a strategy could change. There's so many moving pieces. So until these deals are done, they're never done. And I said that throughout the summer. We got lucky, and some of the hard work that we put in helped us get the luck so that we could come together with AMC as a partner.
And I know you probably won't mention, but were you looking at other people? Was it down to AMC and another entity or a couple other entities? How many finalists were you looking at here?
It probably started out. I'd say there was between 6 and 8 originally that we started to hit up. I mean, most of the folks that you would know, no big surprises. Everyone's talking to everyone. But there's also, some networks that, aren't allowed to talk to us based on the other programming that they might have on their network. So in the end, we sort of got it down to 3, and then we got it down to 2, and, really only really proceeded with AMC because we knew they were the right partner. And so when we really got down to the real serious negotiations of getting the deal done, it was with AMC.
Could you tell us who the other two were?
I don't think it would be the right thing to do. I mean, if I don't think any of them would be surprises. Everyone's talking to everyone, but no, I mean, I don't think it's right. They were very supportive of us, and we had good relationships and ended them. And you never know what might happen years to come. But
sure.
like I said, we got serious with AMC and just proceeded down that path over the last sort of 30, 45 days to get the deal done.
So the first show is January 15th, Texas, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern time, and that is live. I remember you telling me that the hope was 52 weeks live. Is that the plan, or is it going to rotate? How is it going to be as far as live is concerned?
Yeah, so it's a great question, and I'm a live guy. I've been in the live sports business my whole career. We did a little more live this year. I think we're going to do a little more live in that first 3 to 6 months, and we'll sort of get our rhythm with our new partner. And then I think in the second half, we'll decide how much more live we can do based on operations and just finances and also just the logistics of being live on a weekly basis. I think we're going to be smart in these first 6 months and make sure that we do all the right things to kick the partnership off right and not do too many extra things that could get in the way of that. But certainly doing a little more live in the first 6 months is in the cards. It's also why we're debuting live.
Okay, but it will still be a weekly show, right?
Every Thursday night, 9 to 11, 52 weeks a year in 2026. Absolutely a weekly show.
And so I'm guessing sometimes like you'll have a live show and then tape next week's show, that type of thing from the same venue. And that's what those other shows will be when it's not live?
Correct. Yes. So in some of those instances, we'll stay at a venue on maybe the Friday night or the Saturday night after the live show on a Thursday and get in a TV taping or two for the next couple of Thursdays. Correct.
Okay. And what about pay-per-views? What's the breakdown going to be as far as the new year is concerned and moving forward?
Yeah, so the pay-per-views will stay the same. We'll have 4 pay-per-views in 2026. We've got Genesis will be the first pay-per-view that will be right after our live debut on AMC on the Saturday after Dallas. That will be Genesis, which will be the first big pay-per-view of the year.
Okay, as you know, the UFC moving off pay-per-view now with their Paramount deal, and it seems like more and more entities are doing that. WWE did it a few years ago, and there aren't that many left. Do you foresee a day and age where you guys aren't on pay-per-view?
I think it all depends on how things come together. I mean, TNA Plus is still an important platform for us. You can still get our pay-per-views on that platform. I just don't think we've ever had a partner like AMC. So I would say that all of those kinds of questions will be on the table once the partnership comes together. But the partnership is for TNA Impact on Thursday nights.
Okay. There's many ways to skin a rights deal, right? There's barters, there's time buys, there's a lot of money being paid. Could you give us any details as far as what the nature of this deal is? Like, is this a multi-million-dollar deal going from AMC to TNA? Is it a barter deal? Is it a time buy? That to me is very interesting when it comes to a deal like this.
Yeah, I mean, what I can say is that it's definitely not a time buy. It's a partnership that has upside as we build TNA into a bigger property. AMC is very happy and interested in that upside, and for TNA, there's a lot of upside in the deal as well. And financially, it really helps us get where we need to be in 2026 and beyond.
Okay, so you're happy with it?
Very happy with it. Yes.
Sometimes, as you know, I don't think I'm prying. When rights deals are announced, we know exactly like how much they're for. The NBA deal, the NFL deal, the UFC deal. Are you willing to share how much this is for?
No, I think right now we're not going to share. I think as part of the partnership, once we really launch and come together and the deal really sort of takes off, then I think we'll be able to talk a little bit more about it, Ariel. But I think for right now, being a new partner, we've decided that we really want to just launch the partnership the right way first and grow it.
There were some rumors I saw online that this deal signaled the end of your relationship with WWE. I didn't quite understand why. If anything, I thought this deal would be sort of a byproduct of it, and that deal, the WWE deal, helped strengthen TNA. Could you clarify that and clear up once and for all? What is the status of your working relationship with WWE and NXT?
Yeah, Ariel, probably why you didn't understand it is because it made no sense, and there's zero like factual anything to that statement. Things are going great. I mean, Leon Slater was on the CW last night in an 8-way on the NXT show. There's all kinds of things in process as we work with WWE and NXT on a whole bunch of wrestlers moving back and forth. As you know, Li Ying just won the belt back at Madison Square Garden just a few weeks ago, and it was really nice that Shawn Michaels and the team allowed me to go into the ring and give her her TNA belt. That now as the world champion, first Chinese world champion ever. Amazing moment. So no, things are great. I really don't. I read it and just sort of scratched my head. I had no idea even where it came from. Things are going great, and I think they're going to just be even better now that hopefully we'll be able to give a little bit back to WWE and NXT by having their superstars come on AMC Network, a bigger platform that is good for everybody.
Did WWE help you guys get this deal?
It depends on what you mean by help. I think if I would answer the question from a day-to-day business development standpoint, no, we did it ourselves inside along with CAA as our partner and agent to help us with the deal. But did they help us? Absolutely. I mean, our 2025 was great because of WWE and NXT. So many integrations. Joe Hendry running into WrestleMania. So many. Every Tuesday night we've been on the CW on NXT. I think all of that exposure absolutely helped us get the AMC deal done. It helped to elevate TNA as a platform, and we're super appreciative for it.
Any particular reason why Thursday was chosen?
I think everyone's kind of marked their spot in the sand, Ariel, in the wrestling week. Thursday, we've been on Thursday nights for quite a while now. Been a high-rated show on Access TV, and I think in working with AMC, they like Thursday night. They like Thursday night kind of going into the weekend and their audience, and so we stuck to it. The one change we've made that you might notice is that we're going to be on from 9 to 11 Eastern time versus 8 to 10 Eastern time, and that's because AMC really thinks that's the right slot for them and their fan base and our fan base to really provide the biggest audience on Thursday nights.
And the other slight change is the official name is now Thursday Night Impact, right?
Correct. Yes. Thursday Night Impact on AMC. That's right.
Okay. And just curious, we talked in the past about, potential investment and whatnot. I had also seen some rumors of Lorenzo Fertitta being interested in purchasing TNA Wrestling. Is there any truth to that? Was there any truth to that?
No, I mean we've known them having been in and around the MMA space, and certainly knowing the TKO folks well, and the Fertitas being such a big part of those things going on. But no, there's no truth to the rumors in terms of them being an investor in TNA.
Is Anthem happy with TNA? Is TNA for sale? What does this deal do to the sort of state of TNA under the Anthem portfolio?
I can tell you that Anthem Sports and Entertainment is much happier today than they were, yesterday when we did the announcement. Now that the announcement is out, I think our owners, our board, our investors are really excited about what TNA did in 2025, and they're looking forward to helping us to grow it in 2026 and beyond. Now that we've got a great outlet in the USA, and we've got great partners in other countries, with a great Sportsnet deal in Canada, a really nice and good deal with Claro in Mexico, and 14 other South American countries, as well as our deal with WBD in India. So I think we just continue to grow the platforms. There's a whole bunch of other countries that we're looking at in terms of expansion also in 2026.
You did mention Joe Hendry. Could you tell us officially what is his status? Has he signed with WWE? Is he leaving TNA?
Joe is now part. You'll see him on NXT all the time. As part of our partnership, you may see Joe come back and be on TNA shows, because that's just part of what we do with WWE and NXT is share wrestlers.
Okay, but he's a WWE wrestler now.
That's right.
How do you feel about that?
I'm super happy for Joe. I'm super happy for WWE. We kind of all worked on it together, and Joe's a great talent and a super good guy.
Okay. That was the one thing that I think some people thought might be inevitable with him being featured so much on WWE, that eventually he might move over. And that's maybe the gift and the curse, for lack of a better term, of the relationship, because now there's a chance to get to know some of your talent, not implying at all that they're going to try to poach guys. But we kind of talked about this the last time you were in here.
Yeah, look, I mean, the partnership is going well, and we've talked about it. We hope that TNA creates talent that WWE wants. That means that we're also doing a great job in building talent. And that's why you see, some new superstars, whether they're knockouts or whether they're on our guys roster, appearing, on the NXT shows, being part of the storylines, being in tag matches, and showing off what these great TNA wrestlers can do. So that's all part of growing the brand, and we embrace it, and I think it's going great for everyone, and hopefully the fans are enjoying it as well.
Now that you've been out in the wild and you've talked to the executives and you've seen what the landscape is, the one story that I'm fascinated by is Top Rank Boxing still not having its own deal. Their last show was in July. It's now almost 5 months later. Does this surprise you, knowing what executives are saying, knowing what the budgets are right now? It's an interesting time for combat sports. Golden Boy's deal is up with DAZN. Matchroom's deal is up next year. PFL's deal is up next year. The UFC, WWE got their deals. You got your deal, etc. AEW got their deal. But are you surprised that a Top Rank doesn't, or does it kind of make sense knowing what you've seen now in this process?
There's not that many outlets. And you need to sort of find the right outlet at the right time. It's, as you know, Ariel, it's a bunch of puzzle pieces. And you can't just think, I want to be on this network or I want to be on that network. It's everything else that the network's got. And by the way, it's not just combat, it's all of the other properties, from the Olympics to all the major sports to college football to, everything, and how all the puzzle pieces fit together. So it's just not easy to get it done. Look, Top Rank's been around a long time. There's a lot of great properties that are still out there, and I think we all know that live sports and entertainment is super important to the media landscape. So I think that's why all those properties exist, and they'll find a good home.
AMC Plus, how does that tie into all of this?
So if you're an AMC Plus subscriber, you'll also be able to watch TNA on Thursday nights, simulcast on AMC Plus. You'll also still be able to watch it on TNA Plus simulcast. As you know, I mean, I'd like to say that AMC is in every single home in America. It's in a whole bunch of homes, but it's not in every single home. So there's still got to be other outlets for you to be able to watch TNA, and both AMC Plus and TNA Plus are two of those outlets in the USA to do that.
Okay. Also wanted to ask you, last time you were here, I asked you about you becoming an on-screen character. And you said you're more of a behind-the-scenes guy, but I've noticed more and more you have been on screen in certain angles and whatnot. And so are we moving in this direction, and are you enjoying that?
I'm enjoying it very much, but I'm enjoying it, really as the president of TNA. I really enjoyed, the other night in Madison Square Garden with Lei Ying winning the championship, and the NXT folks allowing me to go in the ring and put the belt around her waist, and she was so excited and was so happy. And so I'm going to continue to be the president of TNA, and the president of TNA is going to represent the talent and the athletes and the organization as the president should. And that's the quote character that I play, but that's a real life character. That's the same character that I'm playing right now on your show, which is representing the brand. And as you know, Ariel, I've done it for a number of years with a bunch of properties, and I do very much enjoy it, and work hard to try and represent the brand well.
Could you tell us how many years this deal is for?
It's multiple years.
Okay,
is what I can tell you.
Fair enough.
It's a multi-year deal.
Do you think, obviously the relationship with WWE is there, it's strong, it's present. Is the hope by the end of 2026 for you guys to be the number 2 brand in pro wrestling? Is that the goal? Is that what you're shooting for?
I think we're shooting to be a great brand other than WWE. I mean, WWE is far and away the number 1 brand. And so, we want to be a great other brand that you can watch wrestlers and you can enjoy week in and week out, and enjoy kind of the brand of TNA wrestling that, has some legends that have been in the market for, 20 and 30 years, but also has some really great young talent that we've developed, and how do we mix those together? I'll let you tell us if we're number 2. I'm just trying to build TNA into a great property, and AMC is a big puzzle piece of that that's going to really help us do that.
December 5th, Final Resolution. You'll have a couple of Impact tapings on the 6th and 7th. January 15th from Dallas, first show, Thursday Night Impact on AMC. Genesis, as you said, in January. Before I let you go, I did want to ask you about Invicta. 3 shows in 2025 and nothing planned, or at least announced as of yet. Could you tell us about the state of Invicta?
Yeah, so we did do a couple of good shows this year. CBS Sports Network broadcast those shows. We've done a couple of sort of repackaged shows. We actually did one just a couple of weeks ago on CBS Sports Network. There's going to be another one coming out in December, sort of a highlight show from 2025. And we're working with Shannon and the rest of the team on a possible relaunch in February or March of next year. And as soon as those plans get finalized, Ariel, I'd love to come on the show and tell you about them. I think they're going to be exciting. And we just got to work through a couple of operational issues. And hopefully that'll get relaunched in the 2026 season. And we are actively looking at, where we should relaunch that.
Okay. And when you say relaunch, what does that mean? Is that like a rebrand? Is it like a different Invicta? What do you mean by relaunch?
We're just looking at the format for the night of fights and what the right format for the fights should be. and we think we've got some exciting ideas that are almost finalized.
Okay. Looking forward to that. I know you're also very excited by Kayla Harrison getting a shot on that first Paramount Plus card against the GOAT. Amanda Nunes, what do you think? You think she gets it done? She beats the GOAT?
Look, I have yet to root against Kayla. I mean, Kayla's, near and dear to my heart, and everything that she's done over these years since we first sat down and signed her to her first deal back in 2019, I think it was. I think it's very tough for an athlete to come back after being off at the highest levels against another athlete that's at the highest level that she's ever been. So I think Kayla is going to do what Kayla does. And I think she's very strong and powerful. And she said it, and I agree. If she gets her on the ground too, that's where Kayla thrives. But yeah, I'm rooting for Kayla. I think she'll get it done. I think it's going to be a great fight in any case, though. I mean, you can never say enough about what Amanda has done and how tough she is. I just think it's tough when you haven't been in the cage for the time that she's been off, and I think Kayla will have gets the nod and has the upper hand.
Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate it very much. Good luck to you and the team. Congratulations once again. I think this is very cool. It's great. And love to see the growth of the brand and that they're still kicking it and still thriving. TNA, a company near and dear to my heart as well. And so it's great to see for the wrestling business. Really happy for you guys. Thanks so much for coming on.
Great. Thank you, Ariel. Appreciate it.
There he is, the president of TNA Wrestling, president of Anthem Sports, Invicta FC, Fight Network under that umbrella as well. I say TNA near and dear to my heart. I was a student in college watching the weekly pay-per-views. I would buy them for $9.99 because I thought it was cool. Post WCW, that there was a challenger brand, if you will, led by the Jarretts, Jeff Jarrett, Jerry Jarrett. And so I would buy those every Wednesday for $9.99, which was a tall task. Like, it was a big ask back in the day. And they had something. They had some good names on there, the likes of Raven, etc. And then they started to build and got on Spike TV, and it was Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle and Sting, and obviously Hogan and Bischoff came over, Vince Russo, and I got to do one thing backstage. We talked to Vince about that last week, and they were going up, and then it seemed like they were going down to the point where it really seemed like they were in trouble. And as of late, over the last, 2 or so years, feels like it's been a steady climb back up. In fact, their Bound for Glory attendance was their highest attended event ever. Almost 8,000 people attended back in October. They had a show, Slammiversary, on Long Island in July. That was a pretty damn good show as far as attendance as well. The relationship with NXT, I don't know why it would end. Unless WWE is mad about something, but I can't imagine why they would be. I think it's benefited both very well. And now they're on AMC. It would make all the sense in the world for it to continue. That's a big platform. It's a big network. So this is good for the business. It's good. You've got Monday Night Raw on Netflix on Mondays here in America, Tuesday, NXT, CW, Wednesday, AEW on TBS, Thursdays now, Impact on AMC, and then SmackDown on Fridays on USA, and then Collision on Saturday. You have wrestling on every single night, essentially, of the week. That is wild. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.